Hi everyone. I hope you guys can see me. Let me just get a quick confirmation here. Okay. So guys, in today's session, we are going to discuss CAT PYQ percentage questions. It is a topic which has so much importance in the CAT. We get the direct question and we also get the indirect application of this session or this topic in the CAT problems. So if you look at the history of CAT in the last 4 or 5 years, we have not received so many questions directly based on the percentages, but the indirect application you'll see in DI also in questions of TSG ratios and all, you will find the question based on the percentages. So let's start with the first one. This question came in CAT 2025 in slot 2, and it says a certain amount of money was divided among Pinu, Meena, Reenu, and Seema. Pinu received 20% of the total amount, whereas Meena received 40% of the remaining amount. So Pinu is getting 20% of the total, whereas Meena is receiving 40% of the remaining amount after Pinu has received 20%. If Seema received 20% less than Pinu, then the ratio of amount received by Pinu and Reenu is. In this question, let's write down the names Pinu, Meena, Reenu, and Seema, and also writing the total. So let's assume the total amount is 100 rupees. If the total amount is 100 rupees, then Pinu received 20% of the total amount, which is 20. But Meena received 40% of the remaining. What is 40% of the remaining? When Pinu received 20 out of 100, so the remaining amount was 80, and Meena received 40% of 80, which is 32. If Seema received 20% less than Pinu, so Seema actually received 20% less than Pinu, who received 20. So 20% less than 20. 20% of 20 is 4. So if you subtract that, Seema received 16 and the remaining amount will go to Reenu. So out of 100, these three, Pinu, Meena and Seema, have already received 68 rupees, which means Reenu will receive 32. Now the question is the ratio of the amount received by Pinu and Reenu. Pinu and Reenu. So Pinu received 20, whereas Reenu received 32, and the ratio will be 4 5s are 4 8s are, so 5s to 8. So the answer would be option 4. Let's move to the next question then. It says after 2 successive increments, Gopal's salary became 187.5% of his initial salary. First, understand it became 187.5%, which means the increment in the salary, the final increment in salary is 87.5%. How are we getting it? Anything and everything in this world in itself is 100%. So whatever you are getting extra will be over and above the existing part. So whatever was the salary, we are taking that base to be 100 and it becomes 187.5%, which means the increment is 87.5%. If the percentage of salary increase in the second increment was twice that of in the first increment, then the percentage of salary increase in the first increment was. Let the percentage increase in the first increment. Let the percentage increase in first increment be a%. So what will be the percentage increase in the second increment? The percentage increase in the second increment would be 2% then. Now, when these are two successive increments, so we can directly calculate the net change by a formula which is plus minus a plus minus b plus minus ab by 100. So because both are increasing, so we'll put the positive signs. It is plus a plus b plus ab by 100. This should be equal to 87.5%. Now listen, a is a, but this 2a, this is b. No, we are keeping b as 2a. So there are two ways now. Either you plug in this as b as 2a, so it will be a plus 2a plus a into 2a by 100 equal to 87.5, and then you solve it. Just it will become 3a 2a square upon 100 equal to 87.5. And now you make a quadratic equation and solve this question, which may not be a easy thing to do. The other way to solve this question would be to use the answer options. The good part about this question is they have already given us the answer option. Now I know they are asking me the first increment, and they have already given me the second increment is twice the first one. So now there are four answer options: 25, 27.5, 30, and 20. Should I start with the 20% part, or should I check all the values? Whenever we take the answer options for the calculation, there is a simple rule. We never use the extreme values. Neither we should try the minimum value, nor we should try the maximum value. What if they are the answers? Understand. For example, if I take my first increment to be 25, if I take this to be 25%, then my second increment should be 50%. Now, if I start with 25, what is the benefit of it? Either it will be the answer, or I'll get the range whether my actual answer should be more than this or less than this. So first, let's take, if I get two increment, one is 25% and the other is 50%, what will be the net change after 2 years? So it will become 25 plus 50 plus 25 into 50 by 100, which on solving will become 87.5%, which means the first increment was 25%. Imagine if this value exceed 87.5, that means my answer should be less than 25%. And if it is less than 87.5, the value that I picked gives me less than 87.5, then my answer should be more than that. So that is how we can eliminate the answer options. So in this case, though you can solve the quadratic equation, but in the given time, the good idea would be to use the answer option and not to solve the quadratic equation. Let's move to the next one. In this question, it says, in a tournament, a team has played 40 matches so far and won 30 of them. So how many matches they have played? 40. And they won 30% of them. So they won and they lost. So 30% they won, which means They lost 70% of the matches. So 30% is 12. If they win 60% of the remaining matches, their overall win percentage will be equal to 50%. Suppose they win 90% of the remaining matches, then the total number of matches won by the team in the tournament will be. Now we don't know how many matches are remaining. So let's assume the remaining matches. Let the remaining matches be matches B 10A. Now, if I assume the remaining matches to be 10A, and as per the instructions of the given information, if they win 60% of the remaining matches, so if they win 60%, which is 6A, and the remaining will be, let's say they lost the remaining, which is 40%, will be 4A, then the overall win percentage will be 50%. So now how many matches have they won in all? 12 plus 6A. Now 12 plus 6A is their total win, which is 50% of the total matches played. And how many matches have they played so far? They have played 40 plus 10A. So this win over total matches should be equal to 50%, which is 1 by 2. Now if you solve this, it is 24 plus 12A equal to 40 plus 10A, which gives me 2A equal to 16, or A equal to 8. Any just So we got the value of A equal to 8, which means the number of remaining matches will be 10A, which is 10A. Number of remaining matches is not A, it is 10A. So it will be 10 into 8, which is 80. But they're not asking you the number of remaining matches. What they're asking you is the total number of matches won by the team if they win 90% of the remaining matches. So total win in case they win 90% of the remaining matches would be, it will be 12 matches they have already won plus 90% of 80, which is 72. So 12 plus 72 is 84. So the number of matches they'll win in this case will be 84. Okay. Let's move to the next question then. It is a question which says a box has 450 balls, each either white or black. There being as many metallic white balls as metallic black balls. If 40% of the white balls and 50% of the black ball are metallic, then the number of non-metallic balls in the box. Now, let's assume, because they're saying the number, there being as many metallic white ball as metallic black ball. So what we can assume, the number of balls, let the number of white ball be (10A) and 10B respectively. Okay. So if I assume the number of white and black ball to be 10A and 10B respectively, why am I taking 10A and 10B? Because I don't want to deal in decimal. It is 40%, 50% I need to calculate. That will be integral value. So we can always take the value A and B, or 10A and 10B. Now the total number of balls will be 10A plus 10B equal to 450, which gives me A plus B equal to 45. This is my first equation. Now, they are saying 40% of the white balls, 40% of the white ball is 4A, and 50% of the black balls are metallic. 50% of the black ball, which will 5B. And as per the instruction, there being as many metallic white ball as metallic black balls, so these two should be equal, which gives me A equal to 5 by 4B. So by substitution here, I can find the value. So if I put A equal to 5 by 4B plus B equal to 45, or 9 by 4B equal to 45, this gives me B equal to 20. Now, if you plug in the value of B in this equation, then you'll get A equal to 25. So I have the value of A and I have the value of B. Now the question is not asking you the value of A and B. They're asking you the non-metallic balls. How many balls in all we have? 10A plus 10B. How many of these balls are metallic? 4A and 4B were the metallic balls. So what is the value of 4A? It is 4 into 25, which is 100. There are 100 metallic white balls and there are 100 metallic black balls. So the total metallic balls are 200. So the non-metallic balls will be total 450 minus 200, that is 250. So this was an easy question. If you go step by step, if you take these values, then it is actually an easy question. So let's discuss the next question. This question appeared in CAT 2021 slot. Now we have a CAT 2020 question which came in CAT 2020 in slot 1. In a group of people, 28% of the members are young, while the rest are old. So what they're doing is they're dividing the total number of people in two parts, young and the old. So if I assume the total number or total population, if I assume the total population to be 100A, then how many are young? 28A. So let's divide these in young and old. Young, old. So 28% will be 28A. The remaining 72% will be old people. If 65% of the members are literate, so out of these 100A, some are literate and some are illiterate. So the literate people are 65%, which is 65A, and the number of illiterate people will be 35A. The remaining will be illiterate. And 25% of the literates are young. So out of these, 25% are young. Okay. So what is 25% of 65? 25% of 65A will be 16.25. Okay. And the remaining 75% will be old people, those who are literate, old literate people, which will become 48.75A. So basically, overall, there were 72A old people, of which 48.75A are literate. Now the question is, the percentage of old people among the illiterate. Percentage of old people among the illiterate. So out of these 72, if 48.75 are literate, then remaining 21, this will be minus 48.75a. So 23.25a must be illiterate, old illiterate people. Now the question is, then the percentage of old people, percentage of these 72a among the illiterate is how much? This is 23.25a. This is close to 1/3. Okay, which let me read it again. 25% of the literate are young. Okay, 16.25a. Then the remaining will be correct. Then the percentage of old people, old among illiterates. Okay, sorry, I calculated old among illiterate among total. So I want to calculate the number of or percentage of old people among the illiterate. So among illiterate are 35a. I want to calculate how many of these, how many among them are illiterate. That will be 23.25a. This is what we are supposed to calculate. Okay, so 5. First, let's cancel this. This is 5 sevens are 4s are 6 are 5s are 6 are 42, 7 3s are approx 63%. Let's move to the next question then. In a class, 60% of the students are girls and the rest are boys. So if we take the total student to be 108, let the total students be 100A. So if they're 100A, then 60% of the students are girl and rest are boys. So girls 60%, boys 40%. There are 30 more girls than the boys. 60A are girls, 40A are boys. The difference is 20A. There are 20A more girls than the boys. And as per the question, there are 30 more girls than the boys. So this should be equal to 30. Now, if 60% of the students, including 30 boys, pass an examination, the percentage of girls who do not pass is, please understand, in this case, the value of A will be 30 by 20 or 3 by 2. Now, the total number of students will be 100 into 3 by 2, which will be 150. It says 60% of the students, 60% of this, including 30 boy, pass the examination. So how many pass the examination? Fail 68%, 32%. So 68 will be 4, 68 plus 34. This is 102 students pass and 48 fail. Okay. And out of these, they are 30 boys and the remaining are girls. 72 must be girls. Then the percentage of girls who do not pass is, now how many girls were there in all? 60%. There were 90 girls. This is 90. This is 60. The number of girls, those who passed in the exam, is 72. The number of girls who failed is 18. So 18 girls failed in the exam. The percentage of girls who do not pass. Is there any technical issue? My screen just went blank. Guys, there is some. Let me check. Just 1 second. Let me just check the technical issue here. I guess, yes, it should be visible. Yeah, it is. So the percentage of girls who do not pass, there are 18 girls who did not pass out of 90. It is 20%. So the percentage of girls who do not pass is 90%. Guys, I guess there was some issue with some calculation with the earlier question. This is where I guess some mistake was made. Let me correct it here. It was 23.25a upon 35a, which is 2325 upon 35. 5 sevens are 5 fours are 5 six are 5s are. So 7 6 are 42, 3 4 7 6 are 42. It is something 66% approx. So I guess I made a mistake in the calculation earlier. I'm so sorry for that. Yeah, this would be the calculation. Okay, so that was a mistake in the calculation. Let's move to the next part. Okay, so these are the questions from the last 5 CAT papers. Uh, though, as I told you, that we do not get a lot of question on the percentages directly question, but the indirect application of all these questions will be there. So for more of such questions, we will be giving you the other sessions. Thank you.